Alright, so we have Ariane Lipski versus Mandy Bomb. So Mandy Bomb has a 3-inch reach advantage. We'll see if she can use it. So Mandy Bomb, she's more of a striker, I'd say. She stands very upright. She stands very tall. Tries to work behind a jab. She does push the jab out quite a bit. Throws it with, a fair amount of volume. But she does throw it kind of weird, though. She kind of flares her elbow out. Kind of telegraphs the jab a little bit because you see it coming. But also, it just slows down the extension of the jab. But yeah. The 1-2-1 is what she likes. She likes, throwing straight punches. She stays very light in her feet. She stays very light in her feet, throws a lot of volume. So she could absolutely beat a lot of people with that type of game plan. Just staying light in your feet and just throwing volume. Kind of like that Caitlin Chikagian approach. But yeah, she does have her hands low and her chin in the air at all times, especially when avoiding strikes on the back foot. And she does carry her hands low basically at all times. Yeah, just hands low at all times. Which is kind of dangerous with Lipski, who's probably going to be coming forward. She's going to be throwing straight punches and she's going to be throwing heat. Lipski, she does have a fair amount of power. Like, she generates a fair amount of power. You can tell, like, when opponents get hit by her, you can tell they don't like it very much. She has a nice straight right. Those the 3-2, 3-2, 3-2 and the 2-3, counter 2. Basic Muay Thai, Brazilian Muay Thai boxing combinations that you'll see from, Brazilian Muay Thai, Shute box, type practitioners, She stands very tall as well. Her head doesn't move too much, classic Brazilian Muay Thai, but she's very aggressive. One thing Mandy Bomb also likes to do is she likes to grab the Muay Thai plum clinch, look for knees to the head of her opponent when they do close distance. And also frame off knees, frame off elbows in the clinch. She's when opponents are trying to take her down, she's always looking for offense and stuff like that. I think it's going to be hard to dominate Lipski in the clinch the same way that she's dominated her previous opponents in the clinch, just because of the physicality of Lipski, and we'll get into it in a sec. But yeah. Lipski, the problem with her is that she can be too over-aggressive on the feet, and she will kind of run into takedowns, and that's where we've seen her really struggle in the UFC, is when opponents do take her down, because off her back, she's not very good. She just locks her guards pass very easily. Yeah, it's not pretty when she does get taken down. Mandy Bomb, she does have a little bit of grappling. I have seen her go to takedowns in the past. She's more of a striker, I'd say, but she has a bit of grappling, which is a little concerning if you're in Lipski's corner. She has a body lock that she'll look for an outside leg trip to finish, take the back of the opponent if they do turn. But Mandy Bomb, she isn't the best grappler either, I'd say. She does let opponents push her against the fence pretty easily, and that's the physicality I was talking about before. She also locks her guard on bottom. Same thing with Lipski. Both these guys don't have great get-ups. Problem with Lipski is that she will engage in grappling situations where I don't believe that she should. She should probably just keep it on the feet after she was having success, and then she looks for a takedown or just engages in the clinch, too much. Also, she just goes for dumb judo trips that need the gi to work at a high clip, but also her hip positioning is just off, and she doesn't have correct positioning of her hips when going for these judo trips. So how these guys win fights: Lipski, she's vicious, she's got power for 125. You rarely see one punch power at this weight class in women's MMA. And how these guys lose fights: so for Lipski, she's just got awful takedown defense. Poor get-ups as well, zero get-ups. She literally doesn't look like she knows what she's doing when she does get taken down. Starts pushing on random, if you watch the Montana De La Rosa fight, if you just watch what Lipski's doing, she's just kind of pushing down on the ankle and stuff like that when Montana's trying to pass. It's just really novice stuff, really white belty stuff. For Mandy Bomb, it's the striker tendencies mentioned before: hands low, chin in the air. Also poor takedown defense, poor get-ups. Path to victory for these two. For Lipski, keep it at kickboxing range. Counter her jab, because you will see it coming. Either you can eat it or you can slip it and then counter with combinations. Don't engage in the clinch. Also mix in takedowns in a close round, because I feel like you can take her down. If it's close, if the volume's getting to you, then you can take her down at the end of the round. Maybe put a stamp on the round itself. So for Mandy Bomb, as I said, for Lipski, don't engage in the clinch, but for Mandy Bomb, I think engaging in the clinch is good. Look for the Muay Thai plum clinch, look for knees there, but ultimately you're looking for trips in the clinch, and you're looking to take her down and focus on control once you do have her taken down. And then you can look for damage, because I do feel like that's the path to victory when you're facing someone like Lipski, who has such a glaring hole in her game. How I see this fight going? Not a whole lot of tape on Mandy. Only her last 2 fights I could find, but I was really unimpressed with what I saw. She's very young in her career though. She's not young like, age-wise. She's 32, but young in her career. And it has been 10 months since we've seen her like last fight. So she could come in and perform like a completely different fighter to the one that I've seen on tape. But from what I've seen on tape is all I have to go off, and from what I've seen is not very impressive. But what I have gathered is that she seems like more of a striker than a grappler, so she potentially is going to give Lipski the fight that she wants here. And if it does stay standing, I think Lipski destroys her, honestly. Like, Mandy has some really concerning tendencies on the feet, which typically isn't so alarming at this weight class, because most 125ers don't crack, and you can kind of take the punches and keep going, and, it's not really as critical as it is in other weight classes. But Lipski, she does crack, and you can see the facial expressions of, girls' faces change when they do get hit by her. I could absolutely see Lipski finding a finish if it does stay on the feet. After the Bomb does get hit by a few right hands from Ariane, I'm expecting her to look for the clinch. And, I feel like in the clinch, Lipski could probably just hold her own, just on pure physicality. Like, Bomb doesn't seem very physical at this weight class, honestly. She seems kind of weak. She seems kind of potential to be muscled around a little bit by very physical fighters. But if Bomb does get Lipski down, it is bad news, obviously, because Lipski just doesn't have any get up. She doesn't know what to do. So that's obviously a problem there. And it has been a problem for Lipski's whole career, so it doesn't even look like she's working on it, which is surprising because she does train at ATT and before that at Kings MMA, so they're good gyms, so you'd think she'd be working on it, but she really doesn't look like she has been. But overall, like Lipski, she's just been super underwhelming in the UFC. Other than that, fluky knee bar submission finish, she hasn't had a whole lot of success in the UFC. She's 2-4, and the other win that she has, a DePadra or something, she probably is cut. I don't think she's had another fight in the UFC since then. But in her losses, though, she's basically been dominated in every single one of those losses. They haven't been close fights at all. So, yeah. I kind of wish Taila Santos would have made it to this fight. In my opinion, from what I've seen from Bomb, is that Taila Santos would have been just free money against Mandy Bomb. Like, Taila Santos, legit prospect. She's facing Roxanne Modafferi now, which is another gimme fight, but I feel like she was just going to absolutely blast Mandy Bomb out of this world, but it is what it is. We got Ariane now, and it's a bit more of a close fight because of Ariane's gaping holes in her grappling. But yeah, so we'll have a look at the money lines. Alright, so if you guys could like the video, that'd be awesome. Cheers. Prediction is Lipski by TKO. I'll say TKO just to make it fun, but most likely it's going to be a decision. So yeah, Lipski, it's not someone you want to bet as a favorite just because of a huge grappling holes, and Mandy Bomb does have a little bit of grappling, so you'll feel like an idiot if you just bet Lipski as a favorite and she just gets absolutely dominated on the mat. But yeah, Lipski is the person I'd only play as a dog, and she was a dog before, and I wouldn't be surprised if she does become a dog before fight night. Bomb, no way I'd touch her at that price. She's not very good, but she does have a path to victory, I guess, so I'd only play her at like $2.60 or plus 160. Lipski inside the distance could be interesting. If that's like $6 or plus 500, I might sprinkle a little bit on that because I feel like she does have a good chance to TKO Mandy Bomb. But yeah, it's women's MMA at the end of the day, so it's not going to happen at a high clip, but I feel like that's how this matchup plays out a lot of the time. But yeah, that's what I think on the fight.